Damn.
Hey,
Run race.
I was worried you never came back from Bloomington.
I'd like to.
I tried not to.
Try to
Have a
keep
good
in
time.
shape. So you gotta keep,
fine.
try to keep young somehow. You know, you know how it is.
Oh, it was a good one to watch, though.
Oh, I did.
It was going.
Sitting on right now. I was sitting on the wire thing.
all right, everybody, thank you for coming. I will read the Title VI Public Involvement Survey piece I have to do to maintain our funds. Following statement shall be read at every public meeting held on city premises. As a recipient of federal funds and in support of Lawrenceburg's efforts to ensure non-discrimination and equal access to all citizens, the city gathers statistical data regarding participants in city activities. Therefore, we have provided a voluntary Title VI public involvement survey at this meeting. You are not required to complete this survey. However, the form is anonymous and will be used solely for the purpose of monitoring our compliance with Title VI and ADA, and that is located in the back corner of council chambers. Okay. First meeting I'd like to call to order tonight is Lawrenceburg Board of Works for September 20th, 2021. Could I get a roll call, Mr. Fetty?
Yes, Board Member Tony Abbott.
Here.
Board Member Tommy Roulette.
Present.
City Attorney Dale Weldon.
Here.
President Kelly Malone.
Here.
And myself.
Okay, guys, I don't have any announcements for this particular meeting. Do you, either of you?
I have none, Mayor.
No, none.
If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
So moved.
Second,
I'll second it.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. New business, HR Director Jenny Felix. Policeman new hire. You got some coming.
Thank you, Mayor. We are here tonight to request the approval from the board to move forward with the hire for the new full-time police officer in the new full-time police officer position. And based upon the recommendation from Chief Schneider, we would like to recommend Joshua Bauer for that position.
Questions from either of you up here on Board of Works?
I have none, Mayor.
I have none.
This is to replace Morgan Hedrick, who I guess took the code enforcement officer job, retired from being a police officer. Yes. Okay. Okay. If no questions, I'd entertain a motion to approve the hiring of Josh Bauer.
May I add one more?
I'm sorry.
I don't believe that it's contingent upon perf approval as well.
Perf approval. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Is that a psych evaluation and
Physical
and physical?
evaluation, and I would ask for permission, Your Honor, if, obviously if he don't pass the perf psych eval, we move on to the second of the top three, which you all will find in your packets along with all the information of the hiring process.
Okay, okay. All right, so let me rephrase the motion, guys. I entertain a motion to approve Josh Bauer with the contingency that he passes the perf evaluation, both psych evaluation and physical. So that's the motion I'm going to put on the floor.
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
Second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries.
Chief Snyder, I want to thank you very much for letting me sort of beat you up over the last few days. I
Beat you up.
apologize for that.
You're doing your job, you and Mr. Abbott, and there's nobody I'd like to hear from more than you two especially.
I'm sure.
Boy, there was a hint of sarcasm in that.
Thanks again.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
See you later.
I have no other additional new business, nor do I have any old business for this meeting. Do you all have anything?
I have nothing.
If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the claims.
So moved.
Second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Need a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Mr. Mayor, did you strike the other thing from the agenda there, or is that maybe I'm looking at this. Okay, I'm looking back at the 7th. Sorry, I pulled the wrong agenda.
Oh,
The-
okay.
The care building, that's what I was,
Oh, that's
clear.
That's already
No,
done.
Okay,
Yeah, that was last
Got it.
meeting.
Got it.
I'm sorry.
apologize about that.
No problem. All right, motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, guys. All right, thank you for
Y'all ain't
that.
hanging around? It's pretty interesting.
Seems like it's been a month and a half before we had a Parks and Recreation meeting.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
All right, the next meeting I'd like to call to order is the City of Lawrenceburg Park and Recreation Committee meeting for September 20th, 2021. Could I get a roll call, Mr. Fetty?
Board Member Tony Abbott.
Here.
Board Member Justin Noppert.
Yes, sir.
Board Member Tommy Roulette.
Present.
Board Member Lenny Fryman.
Here.
Board Member Brett Bondurant.
Yes, sir.
City Attorney Dale Weldon.
Here.
President Kelly Malone.
Here.
And myself.
Okay, any announcements for this meeting? The only announcement that I'll make is, you guys had approved a bunch of renovation work to be done down at the community center. Our hopes are that that'll all be completed by the end of the year, and then shortly after the first year, we'll have a sort of a re-grand opening to show off the new center. I've spoken with Mr. Richardson about that as well, and we hope that everything should be completed by then.
Did that second person on the painting bid accept?
Yes, he did, and he's going to be starting, I want to say it's in the first week of October, if I'm not mistaken, and they're willing to work weekends, whatever it takes to get it done.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great.
They came back and went through and did a walkthrough to make sure that everything that was covered on that bid, too, so that
Excellent.
makes me feel better. Okay, any other announcements for this meeting, guys?
Just that, let's take care of our parks. I know we had some stuff over our Arch Street again, some vandalism and things, and just encourage the public to be looking out for things going on over there and report it to the police if there are things happening.
I
Beautiful parks.
I agree with you, Justin. And just so everybody knows, we just installed some different types of cameras over there. And we also are installing a light where that'll now capture the dark end of the park, I want to call it. So
Like a
hopefully
motion
that'll
detector
help.
light, or
I
beam at all times?
I think it's going to be a full-time light.
Okay.
I don't know that for sure, but I think that's what they were putting in. So, but that should, we hope it'll work as a deterrent as well, and go from there. But I agree, Justin. I mean, we need the public's help as well. That park is used a lot, and if people see something going on, they need to say something. Make a call. Yeah, I agree.
We have, it's not directly related, but we have had twice now settings with multiple kids that have been cited for curfew city court, and I can tell you they come in with a parent. Officer Hedrick's there, Officer Kolb, Officer Gentry was there once. So, just having to go in front of a judge with a police officer and have your mom there, and then the judge, sentences them to a fine, but the fine can be waived if they do 16 hours of community service. I think that does a lot. I think it's sending a really good message. And that kind of stuff, I think, will start helping a lot with that, too.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, any other announcements? If not, I entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting, which were held on July the 6th.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion will carry. I have no items listed for new or old business for this meeting. Anything you guys have to add to that?
Do we have any updates on what we're gonna consider doing on George Street? Just kind of.
Not really updates, I guess, Justin. I think there's been some considerations that I've urged everybody, I think, to go over and take a look at that park. It's in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
We talked about doing something different with the rubber mulch. possibly going ahead and doing the turf. I have spoken to Mario. We got a couple of small places over at Arch Street Park that we're having trouble growing grass because they're high traffic areas. So we're getting pricing on turf to put in those areas. So I've asked them at the same time to get a price on that, and then we can bring it back to you guys and see what you think.
And just so it's
Right.
spoken in a public meeting, I'd also entertain any comments from the community in regards to how often George Street Park is being utilized. Because, I mean,
Point.
quite frankly, I drive by there 3 times a week, and I run by there on my runs often now, and I've yet to see one person playing on the playground. So, I mean, I'm really happy we have one on that side of town, because there are some young families, and I'm sure they use it, but I just haven't seen it. So I'd love to entertain any comments from the public in regards to the actual utilization of that park.
That's a good point.
And the turf comment, I've received several texts and emails regarding the static,
Yep.
and I told
Yes.
I
Static
told them
is-
it's that electric main that we ran underneath of it. No, just when it's dry out, the static, when you're running around there and you touch that plastic, I said it's good for your heart. You know, it's like-
Yeah, you brought that to my attention, but a parent brought it to my attention shortly after you did. So I've asked Mario to go back to the manufacturer to see if they've had other types of issues with that and anything that we can do other than just have water on it complete, at all times. But I think there should be something we should be able to do about that, because that plastic really sets off a spark.
It's intense, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I've felt it a few times.
Yeah, I hear you.
Would that be something where they could put a ground rod around there and
I
ground
don't
all the
know.
equipment?
I really don't know. I don't know.
I've been there and shocked myself, and I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm sure it's
You
grounded because
need
it's
to
in the
stay off
ground.
those
Well, I
all
would
that
think so
metal,
too, but I didn't know if another additional ground rod deeper in the ground would, like what you use for your electric meters and stuff.
Yeah.
Were you on
Just
the
for-
slide or the swings or the?
I think the wife and I were actually getting on the swings, yes. Thank you. And my
No,
wife-
but I have Mario check in to see if, with the manufacturer, to see if there's something that,
Might be like a
can
silicone
do.
sealer or something for the turf that, who knows?
yeah, it could be.
Yeah, I've never really noticed that at Ludlow Hill Park, that I know of.
I went up there and tried to recreate it and I couldn't.
Really?
Yes.
We're a little more high-tech up on the hill.
Yeah, that's right.
We got it all.
Lenny's
taken care
over
of.
watering it down all the time.
I think we're closer to the equator down here. There you go.
Further south. So, anyway, anything else for this meeting? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next meeting I'd like to call to order is the Lawrenceburg City Council for September 20th, 2021. If everyone could arise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Mr. Fetty, one more time.
Here we go. Councilperson Tony Abbott.
Here.
Councilperson Justin Noppert.
Sir?
Councilperson Tommy Roulette.
Present.
Councilperson Lenny Fryman.
Here.
Councilperson Brett Bondurant.
Yes, sir.
City Attorney Dale Weldon.
Here.
Mayor Kelly Milan.
Here.
And myself.
Okay. Announcements, board reports, streets, alleys, and curbs, downtown area, Mr. Abbott.
No reports.
Streets, alleys, and curbs, Ludlow Hill area, Mr. Fryman.
All good.
Finance, Mr. Bondurant.
No report, Mayor.
Parks and Playgrounds, Mr. Noppert.
We're good, sir.
Fire Department, Mr. Roulette.
Good, all good, Mayor.
All righty. I have one announcement. As you all know, Friday and Saturday is the Lawrenceburg Fall Music Fest. And I think I've spoken to each of yous. I'd like if you could be at the stage about 6:45 that evening, if at all possible. I'd like to introduce y'all and Mr. Fetty, and I'll talk to Mr. Kennett, Utility Director. We usually bring him up there and introduce them to all of you to the all the patrons, so they can thank you for approving the finances to do this every year.
Does that
Any
give
oth-
us VIP backstage passes too?
Oh, yeah.
Mayor, can we
Yeah.
get back to streets, alleys, and
Ab-
curbs?
ab-
Little Hill?
Absolutely.
I believe I overheard Mr. Abbott, Mr. Fryman talking the other day about coming off of Heiner Heights.
Oh, the
There
mirror?
used to be a mirror there, and it is now gone since they redid the poles.
Good question. And Lenny talked to me this morning about it, and then I said, well, make sure you get with Mario. Well, I saw Mario in between talking to him, and then I called Lenny back and said, I've talked to Mario, and he knows what we're talking about getting a little larger mirror up there. Well, and I want you guys not that, we don't have to decide this tonight, but now that we own State Route 48, old State Route 48.
Every road.
Mario came to me this afternoon and says, what if we made that a three-way stop there? I got two reasons, and he brought them up to me. We'd been trying to figure out, people really get going down the hill, where we've had to do some modifications at Riviera, because people come flying down there and people are trying to pull out of Riviera to go down
Right,
there.
the flashing light.
Yes, we've done a few of those things. So I just want you guys, this is one option. We could make it a three-way stop there at Heiner Heights. It would, number one, slow people down. I know it'll make some people unhappy, okay, because nobody likes to stop anywhere. But now that we own it, it's a street and it's not a state route. So we would have the ability to do that. I think it might eliminate a potential accident in the future, whether it be at Heiner Heights or at Riviera, just trying to slow people down. Or if you have other ideas, we're open to them. Whatever can, help solve those issues. But that's sort of what we had talked about when we were talking about the mirror today.
Do we have record of an accident coming out of Heiner Heights? Because I agree with you.
I don't
I
know
think that would be kind of, if we're gonna put a stop sign in, at least we need to show that there's been
I-
record of an accident. I agree, it's nice to slow that down, and it's kind of a shortcut sometimes if
It is.
traffic's backed up. It's not faster regular day.
Right.
But if traffic's really backed up, people like to squeeze through there, if they're abiding by the speed limit and there hasn't been an accident, it is a tight turnaround
Yeah.
when you're coming down that hill. Yes,
That's
sir.
where they got
Yes, sir.
that mirror up there.
Yeah.
So the engineering study that you guys sent back, which I'm glad you did, the report that we got.
Science study?
The science study. So the original intention of that project was for a civil engineer to do a study to determine where we have to have stop signs, where we have to have speed tables, speed humps, yield, so that when the next time somebody approaches one of you guys and says, hey, need a new one on Elm Street, need a new one on BLB or whatever, we can look at the study, and if it's either in there or it's not. So
It's not.
they're winding that down, and so that,
It is done.
yeah,
I've got it. I gave them a copy tonight.
Yep.
To look at, and
for the sign study.
yes, they got me the updated version.
Okay.
And I gave these guys all copies tonight.
Okay, thank you.
But I want them to go through it, and I thought then we'd have the sign study people come in and go over the study with us. But I'm sure that particular intersection is not in their first stop sign. I know that.
Well, and I met with John Johnson about this. I think another step, and what I told Mr. Johnson was, and if it's okay with everyone here, is that, the first phase was just, here's how many signs you have. Well, that, of course, that wasn't what we wanted. This phase, I think, is a little better, but I would like to add a third phase before we pay them, which would be, make sure it's specifically drilled down to exactly what I just laid out, because that's what we originally hired them for.
Yep.
So, because we want to be able to have that guide in John Johnson and Mario Todd's office where, someone comes in, and that way we're being better stewards with our community. We don't want to just say no, but if we can say, well, we did an engineered study, it lasts 5 years, 8 years, whatever, and no stop sign is recommended at this certain corner, then we can kind of tell people no, and we have something to back it up with. And this study also will say, if they've recognized where we need some more. It also gives us, of course, that inventory to take care of the signs, some of them were listed. So that's what we originally set out to get. So we'll make sure that if it's okay, I'd like to push him back to one more step. And like the mayor said, have him even come in and answer your questions.
And I agree. Number one, we deserve to get what we paid for on the study. But I think this particular area would never, I think when we were talking about, okay, does a stop sign need to be here or not, I'm thinking, okay, out here on intersection of Walnut and Center, do we need stop signs? Probably yes, right? But I don't, since there's not a stop sign, this is I don't think anybody would ever even thought about it, putting a three-way stop sign there.
Sure.
Right.
We were just trying to, I think Mario was just trying to figure out how do we solve a couple things at one time, trying to slow people down through there.
Well, there was a mirror there for a reason, Justin. I mean, that mirror was up there so there wouldn't be a wreck to help the stop from being a wreck. But I think with the sign would be an even better implement to help stop any future wrecks.
The stop
Yeah, I'm not
signs.
against,
Stop signs, yeah.
I'm not against the mirror. I just thought, hey, Mario brought it to me, so I bring it to you guys. I'm glad you brought it up. And like I said, we don't have to decide tonight. I mean, it might be a better option. I don't want to jump into anything. We may even want to get some feedback from the people that live on that particular road. Somewhere we can have a community meeting like we did when we were shutting the road down for that year, and a lot of people showed up to that meeting.
Mayor, is there any specific recommendations for stop signs in here for this report that you've seen?
I didn't see any new recommendations. But what I'm saying though is I think Dell's taken going maybe another step further,
Yeah,
and maybe that might be
I agree with that. I was
part
just
of
trying
the
to
study.
think
I
that
don't know.
that route of any of the side streets, in my opinion, on Old 48 warrant a stop sign. It would be growing Riviera, right? So Riviera is large now. Is that next one? Is that Heiner Heights, or is
That's
that
the next one.
Okay,
Heiner
so
Heights.
Next one up, and then you have Corey after
Corey,
that.
okay, those are two I got confused. So even those are close enough. I mean, I don't know how many houses are up back Heiner Heights. I can't imagine that it's the same population that are feeding out of Riviera every morning, though.
It's a couple dozen though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been my guess, 20, 25, but Riviera is.
And maybe,
so large
maybe you're
and so
right.
close.
Maybe we have somebody actually look at it. Maybe the best place to put it is at Riviera, and you can do your mirror, but you're solving your problem there. I don't know.
Well, Riviera has such a great, huge ingress and egress, and
Right.
Heiner Heights is that angle.
Yeah.
No.
That's
Yeah,
I think that's the big.
I totally agree. I just thought maybe.
Quarry Drive is sort of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I just thought coming off that stop sign, maybe you're slowed down enough, and kind of two birds with one stone there at Riviera trying to feed out onto Old 48. Even though there is that window is like a straight shot right there, it's
Yeah.
fairly easy to turn in and out of Riviera. I understand that. But.
Not a bad consideration.
I'm like you though. That'd be something we need to talk to the people about too.
Oh,
Start
agreed.
putting all these
Agreed.
stop signs and stuff, everybody gonna get aggravated and just see where we're at. I don't know if anybody, I've not seen a wreck there. Most time I see them, people going down the hill and it's slick.
That's
Or
I was
off
going to
road.
mention the same thing. The
Yeah.
only wrecks I can ever remember on that route are slips off
Yeah.
Well,
either side of the road, right?
That's because there's always a mirror there so they can see up the road.
Yeah,
No.
I like the mirror
Maybe
idea. I
you're
just
talking about a mirror, or putting stop signs instead of putting a mirror.
Well, stop signs, I think absolutely is gonna be the safest route. I mean, there's no
So do I.
question
Oh.
about it, but is
Yep.
it necessary? I mean, we
Right.
put stop signs
May
every
not.
half a block.
May
Yeah.
not.
But at the same time, there's also enforcement along with that too, because there's stop signs out here
oh yeah,
that may as well not even be there,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah, somebody had a truck almost hitting me in the clerk treasurer today.
Well, I
That
mean,
wouldn't have been good.
our communities,
Oh, was that a?
oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Running U.S. Bank.
Did we get that on camera?
That's right. You get a lot of points for it, clerk treasurer.
Well, I figure I think
That's what I was gonna
And an
ask. That was
attorney?
Yeah, you win.
assigned-
You win the game.
Assigned job.
It's just that big truck he's got, it's hard to see around.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's better than playing Scrabble.
You will read in here, there's a big part about traffic calming, and there are things that you can do to help calm the traffic. I mean, one-way streets, I think they kind of help, but sometimes there are some people know the little shortcuts, and they will fly down these one-way streets, which are just a hair wider than an alley.
Oh, yeah.
And because I've had different citizens call me about it. It's like, hey, I got people in my driving by my garage at 45 mile an hour, you know, and it's a thoroughfare to the pool, you know, so yeah, that's why we're hoping this would be a, you know, really be,
In depth.
yeah, that would
Yeah.
give us enough information to really help us to have a greater understanding of how.
What I gave you guys tonight was just the additional to what they had given us prior,
Okay.
so you guys know that.
Yeah, I mean, we do have the original contract
You
with
got
them,
the-
so I think it's very important that you take a look at the original contract, see what
Compare 'em.
additional that you got, and make sure that you guys,
Pair 'em together.
just like you said before, got what you paid for.
Yeah.
Yep.
And, I mean, it is a great, obviously, just the discussion here,
Yeah.
it's evident that
Yeah.
there's a great need for this discussion to be happening. You know, so that's why I think originally we even talked about doing.
I'll
this
tell you,
process.
if it's okay with you guys, though, I think for the interim, I'll have them put the mirror back up,
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just so we can get something up there and going, okay? All right. Good
Thank you.
discussion. All
I
right.
had a couple people up there ask me about that, because they
Yeah.
come down through there.
Yep.
One of them owns that, was it RV that he pulls?
Oh, yeah.
I can just imagine coming down there. That thing, big as it is, it's.
Speaking of that, are we
Get
still
going.
paying for the RV
No.
rental? So that's taken care of?
They're all,
I
everything's,
just wanted to kind of see if
everything's
that
out
came
of
across.
that, out of that yard.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. New business, you've got a copy of, in your packet of the donation requests. You'll see there was, let me see, two of them, I guess it was.
Yep.
All right. Any questions regarding those? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the donation committee recommendations.
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I have no old business on tonight's agenda. Anybody got anything?
Hey, back to fire, did everybody get a chance to talk to Chief Tremaine about his report?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I haven't talked to him, no. I got the
Just-
report.
just- You got the report? Okay.
Yeah.
And we didn't, I'm glad you brought that up. We received a report from him, none from the director of the LMU, AMS director. He didn't have nothing to report this month.
Oh, EMS.
Yes, I'm sorry.
I thought you said, I
LERU,
was thinking something.
and then we
Yeah.
did also receive something from Judge Johns.
Yes.
And then I also, if I can enter, I actually give everybody a copy of a monthly calendar from the Adult Center.
Thank you.
Hey, appreciate that.
We have our meeting
Yeah.
tomorrow night.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, anything else? Old business wise?
Nothing.
Any comments from the audience? You too.
Did I get rained out tonight or what?
It's raining. I've heard it on, I can't believe it
It's
rains
flat
so hard.
coming down.
It's pouring down out there.
If, no comments from the audience, I'll entertain a motion to, approve the claims.
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn. Lenny? Second?
Your Honor, before we grant that, I just want to let everybody know, we do have ordinance violation hearings this Wednesday morning in Lawrenceburg City Court if anyone wants to attend and kind of see how the process works. These are building code violations as opposed to some of the juvenile cases. So if anyone wants to see that process,
That
see
should-
Officer Hedrick and the judge. It's a public hearing and you're welcome to attend.
What time
That
does
should be a long line.
There are, on Wednesday, the 22nd, we've got 10 o'clock, 10:15, 10:30. So we've got at least 3 hearings this Wednesday,
Starting at 10, okay.
starting at 10.
County Dale?
It's at the city, police department and
Police
city court.
department.
So you could, meet the, or see the judge and meet his staff, and you can attend the hearings. They're public hearings.
Never been in there, that'll be something new
Yes, sir.
this year.
Well, you might be soon.
I was gonna say, I may not wanna go in there.
You mowing your grass?
Yeah, really.
Your grass is higher, you're gonna get called in there now, I'm telling you.
That's one thing about it, I've had to mow it. Austin,
You may be
have
on the
been-
list.
Yeah, ain't no doubt, I don't wanna be on the list.
It's not a list you wanna be on.
No.
So,
That's a good one.
that's good comments, guys. Anything else? Thanks, Dell. All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn then.
Got that from Lenny, you need a
I
second.
already got
Second.
that.
Anybody want to second Lenny's motion?
Or is it-
Nobody wants
what
to
is
follow
it?
that.
Anybody want to just hang around or?
It'll go hang around a while.
I'll second.
All right,
Take
so
care, Lenny.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, guys. Al.
Miss Lee, you're,
Thank you, Lee.
Miss Lee,
You
your
know what
son's
I
on his
didn't get
way.
the compliment on? I wished I had him. You know, when we were down there.
Yes, ma'am. Hi, Lee.
It was